Hey everyone, I am your nurse and transformational coach here. So welcome back to Strategy Saturdays. So today we're going to kind of add to our lessons from the Navy SEALs. So these are 10 lessons we can learn from Navy SEAL training. And it comes from an article by Steve Nugent, and it's actually from a commencement speech by Admiral William H. McGravin. And these are some great life lessons. So 10 lessons from basic SEAL training. So the first one, if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed, right? So if you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. So I thought that one was pretty pertinent to start by making your bed. You got to start your day out right? Those positive intentions, but do those little things and they'll add up and you'll be able to do the big things, right? Those small steps. The second lesson, if you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. So you cannot change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get you from the starting point to where your destination is, you need those friends, you need those colleagues, you need your team members, right? The goodwill of strangers and, um, someone to help guide them as well. So find someone to help you paddle sometimes, especially in nursing when we feel like we're drowning. Hand the paddle to somebody else too when you're getting tired. Step 3 or lesson 3, I should say. If you want to change the world, measure the person by the size of their heart, not the size of their flippers, right? Size of their heart. So SEAL training is kind of a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to actually succeed. Not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status, and definitely not the size of your flippers. So it's what's inside that matters, right? We all kind of know that. Lesson 4, if you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and keep moving forward. Sometimes no matter how well you prepare or how well you perform, you still end up as a sugar cookie. Sorry, I find that amusing. So for failing the uniform inspection, the students in basic training have to run fully clothed into the surf and then wet from head to toe, roll around on the beach so every part of them is covered in sand. So the effect is known as the sugar cookie. And you stayed in that uniform the rest of the day, cold, wet, and sandy. So when you mess up, it's okay to be a sugar cookie. It's part of the process, right? So, but there's some people that can't accept the fact that all their effort was in vain, right? They didn't understand the purpose of this drill. You will never succeed with that. You're never going to have a perfect uniform, right? Us recovering perfectionists, you're never gonna reach that perfection, and it's okay. It's okay to be that B student. It's okay to be a sugar cookie. The fifth lesson: if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the circuses. So during training, they're challenged with many physical events: long runs, long swims, obstacle courses, hours of just constant movement, right? Something could kind of test your mettle. Every event has standards, times that they actually have to meet. And if you fail to meet those standards, your names are on a list. And at the end of the day, you were invited to a quote unquote circus. So the circus was 2 hours of additional training designed to just wear you down, to break your spirit, and to force you to quit. So that's a lot, right? But life is filled with circuses, right? You will fail. You will fail often. It sometimes is going to be painful. It can be discouraging, and at times it's going to test your core. But we all know the lovely saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." But in the end, it is kind of true. That don't be afraid of the circuses. Don't be afraid of the failure because fail, right? First attempt in learning. We all need that. And sometimes lesson 6 here is good too. If you want to change the world, sometimes you have to slide down the obstacle head first. Jump in with both feet and just slide down the obstacle, right? Just down you go. Don't think about it. Um, Lesson 7, if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. Yeah, there's a lot of sharks out there in the world, right? And if you hope to complete the swim, you're going to have to deal with those sharks. So they'll be there. You don't know if you're going to encounter them, when you're going to encounter them. Just know that they're there and keep swimming, right? Be like Dory, just keep swimming. Lesson 8, if you want to change the world, you must be your very best in those darkest moments. So at the darkest moment of any mission, it's that time when you need to be calm and composed, when all those skills that you've learned, your physical power and all your inner strength must be brought to bear, right? So if you want to change the world, you got to practice some of this stuff and be your very best in those dark moments. So when the stress gets to you, when you're feeling all that overwhelm, when you're heading toward burnouts, you have to remember all these skills that you've learned along the way, everything that's in your resilience toolbox, and you need to pull that out at those moments, but you need to practice them when you're not in those moments. So it's second nature. You'll right to them when you do. Lesson 9, if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. So if you've learned anything with this, it's the power of hope, the power of one person, right? Washington, Lincoln, King, Mandela, even a young girl from Pakistan named Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So when you're up to your neck in the mud of an obstacle, just sing out and have that hope. The 10th lesson here, if you want to change the world, don't ever ring the bell. So in SEAL training, there's that bell, that brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for everyone to see. And all you have to do to quit is to ring the bell. When you ring the bell, you no longer have to wake up at 5 a.m. You ring the bell, you no longer have to do those freezing cold swims. If you ring the bell, you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure all those hardships of training. Just ring the bell, right? If you want to change the world, don't ever ring the bell. When you give up that hope, you give up your passion to things. When you ring the bell, yeah, you can't change the world that way. So start each day with a task to complete, right? Find someone to help you through life, respect everyone, know that life is not fair and you will fail often, and it's okay. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are toughest, face down those bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never give up. You will do things in this life. And the next generations that will follow will live in a world that's far better than what we have today. Kind of a good thing, right? It doesn't matter who you are, your gender, your ethnic background, your orientation, your social status. All of our struggles are the same, right? We're all human. And all these lessons can help us overcome those struggles and help us move forward. We want to change the world around us. It does apply equally to all of us. So change can happen anywhere and anytime, right? With any of us. So we need to take these lessons from the Navy SEALs and use them in your everyday life. Remember that I'm here helping you guys with your overwhelming challenges and burnout to kind of build that resilience, take ownership of your well-being. Thanks for joining me this week for Strategy Saturday, where we learn how to navigate these challenges of nursing. Hopefully you've learned some lessons from the Navy SEALs. I find that they go through a lot, maybe not physically stuff demanding in nursing, but it's definitely some mental challenges there, and we can learn from those who are able to kind of overcome it. So hopefully you will use some of these lessons throughout the week. And speaking of challenges, right, that Prevent a Code U challenge starts next week, September 29th. If you want to join me, just post below, right below here. I'm up for a challenge. We're going to be adding to our resilience toolbox. To get those extra tools, though, you do need to sign up for the challenge by September 28th, so that's soon. If you have any questions, just message me, and everyone have a great weekend. I will see you next week when we do our challenge.